Hi Capricorn, I'm Love from a Leo and we meet again, or hopefully. If this is your first time, hi, thank you for stopping by. So we're going to go ahead and get into your full month of October. And this is going to be a really interesting reading. I can already feel it. I've been kind of having this weird energy today, and I've just been sitting with it, and you guys happen to be one of the signs that I'm going to be reading for today. So I'm really excited to see what's going to come out for you guys. And today happens to be the full moon in Aries. But that's a whole nother thing. So I'm just feeling the energy right now. So I'm sure this is going to be a great reading. Okay, so buckle up and get your popcorn or whatever you need, something to sip on, so you can hear what's in store for you in October. Okay, so let me go ahead and start shuffling. We're going to start with the, oh, there we go, something already came out. Okay, so in the beginning of your October, the energy is the Magician's card. So with this being said, this is probably going to be a time where you're putting in what you want, your desires, and kind of bringing forth or creating something that you want to happen. So this is probably going to be you doing the work. And so with that being said, we start off with the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is about, obviously you see him putting in work here, literally. So this is, kind of more about your everyday routine and something that you work hard on, something that you work consistently on, or maybe with, if it's dealing with a person. But I do feel like this is you, being that it is a Pentacle card. So this is working towards something, or definitely career-wise, or maybe a project, something that you are putting lots of energy into. It also involves the King of Wands here. So this could be any fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This could be either you possessing that type of energy, or this person being that they are playful yet creative. They may be people may not see them as mature, but they're actually really smart and creative. And they maybe sometimes have to take time to understand how to balance out that playful nature with serious attitude and a time and a place for things. This is also someone who has who's very exuberant in their personality. They demand a room kind of, but they don't ask for it. It's just kind of given. And this is also someone who is a natural leader. They don't even have to try. It's just people understand them, people like them. So in your workplace, you could be possessing that type of energy, or you could have someone around you in your workplace that has that energy. Excuse me. And we're going into the Nine of Swords here. So this is, thinking about something, worrying about something, maybe a disappointment about something that you cannot stop thinking of. So maybe there was an event that involved work, or involve that person that we were talking about. So let's go ahead and see what the Nine of Swords is. What is Capricorn thinking about in the beginning of October? What are they stuck thinking about, worrying about? Okay, so we got 3 cards. Okay, so maybe it's not necessarily about work. Maybe you're thinking about your emotions and where you stand with things, feelings, and this doesn't have to be just necessarily love in a relationship way, but this could be emotional just in home life, family life, friendships. But I think it's because you are this person that's trying to work on yourself, right? You're trying to become more of this higher, almost like a higher position for yourself, kind of becoming a higher status for yourself. And it's almost coming off fiery. And that's very common with Capricorns. You guys can come off very like fire signs. Probably the closest to a fire sign you can get without actually being a fire sign. So it's I'm almost sure that this is you. So it's almost like you're working on becoming, this leader, working on becoming just someone that is respected. I don't really know, in what field, but just maybe someone who is just respected in all regards. But right now you're at this stage, which is the Queen of Wands. So it's kind of the same message, but the difference is this person has all the same attributes as the King of Wands. The difference is this person has to learn how to become a leader. They don't just possess it, or they're not comfortable with possessing that power that they do have. So you're just in the learning phases, and I think it's going to take more of an emotional, you need to clarify your emotional status with things. So we'll see more about what that's about as we go along, okay? So then we move towards the King of Swords in reverse, okay? So when we have the King of Swords in reverse, This is Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini energy, or a person. And this is a person who is being very manipulative. This is a person who is playing games, mind games, almost trying to outthink you. They could be trying to deceive you almost, or just be sneaky. You know, it might not even be a serious situation, but they're not telling you the full truth. Or maybe they're trying to manipulate the situation or get more money out of the situation, something of that effect. Okay, so let's go ahead and see who or what this has to deal with. I believe this is someone that you do know. So let's see. So this could be, well, actually, let me see what else the cards have to say. So for some reason, I feel like this is not an earth sign. So earth sign is out of the question. So I don't think this is you. This is an air sign for sure. So this is a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. This could also be a Pisces. Or this could be just someone that is on the fence. I'm sorry, not on the fence. Someone who is not on the fence anymore, and they kind of know where they stand with something. They know what they want to do. They know how they feel about this person if this is you. And you're kind of ready to make decisions. So for the most part, I do think this is maybe a Gemini or an Aquarius, or again a Libra. But this could also just be someone that you feel like either doesn't appreciate you, or they're not nice, or they're mean. They manipulate you. But I think you're starting to understand what you need to do mentally to outdo them now. If this is not an air sign, but even if it is, it still pertains to that same scenario. So now we're going to go into the middle of your October, Capricorn. Middle of October for Capricorn. So the energy for the middle of your October is the 10 of Cups here. So blessings and miracles in all aspects of life, things are good, okay? So this is probably going to be a very healing, maybe neutral, or maybe even a very intense time. So it just depends on what your life is at, what frequency you float on. So let's go ahead and see what is there for my Capricorn. Okay, so 4 of Pentacles. So saving, so either you have been saving, and so you feel really good about your financial state. This could also just be someone maybe getting a job, or maybe a position that really solidifies a foundation for real success in finances, or just real security in finances. This could also be someone who is only focusing on their money, maybe not going on dates, maybe not hanging out with their friends, only focusing on their money. I think that's good, and I think as a Capricorn, you think that's good too, right? It's like, everything is good when your money is secure, right? Okay. And then we have the Judgment card in reverse here. So maybe you just start to really put up or shut up. You start to really see that you know what you need to obtain, what you need to save in order to achieve the things that you want. And I think it feels better for you to just stay busy and work on something and work on saving for yourself, even if you are sad over an emotional thing that's going on in your life, because you're like, well, shit, if I can't be secure in this emotional way, then at least I can be secure in a financial way, and maybe I can at least I can find a way with my finances to find some broader aspect so that I can be happier in my life. So I think you're using this drive that you just naturally possess to get through some type of emotional insecurity or an emotional setback or blockage that is present in your life right now. And so now we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. So there are signs that you may not be paying attention to. So let's go ahead and see what that is. That's a big indicator for me. That card is really just like, pay attention. So let's see. Oh, that was too many cards. Shuffle again. What signs are being ignored? Okay, so maybe it came out sideways. So what I'm thinking is there's some type of indecisiveness on if you should put a thought to rest, or if you should act on the action, or act on whatever it is that you think you should do. So it's like I almost feel like there was a change that you didn't expect, and it didn't have anything to do with you, but it did affect you in some type of way, but it wasn't really your fault, but it was for your greater purpose. It was for the greater good, for maybe your finances, or your living situations, or your love life, or for your self-love. your spiritual health. Whatever happened was for the greater good, but it had you feeling like you lost. It had you feeling like you were maybe even embarrassed by the situation, or felt like stupid because you felt like you this is someone you showed off, or someone that you really thought you were going to be with, or someone that you really thought was your friend, or whatever the situation is. I feel like you feel like the rug was just yanked from under you, right? And you felt like, yeah, you got the wrong end of the stick, or the short end of the stick. But now I feel like peace is coming. Emotionally, you'll have peace with a rebirth of some type, and it may involve a Scorpio, but I think it's just signifying a rebirth, or maybe when Scorpio season comes in, which will be in October, maybe once it starts to roll around, or once we get definitely into that season, you'll definitely understand what it means to commit to yourself, and commit to not necessarily being sad, and commit to making actions, and just kind of living on the edge and making some changes for yourself, understanding that in the past you probably seen that when you just do the consistent thing, you just get the same outcome. And so now I feel like in the middle of October, you'll be able to see that, hey, when I actually do start doing things different, I get different results, right? And so that's going to start feeling good, but it's going to be familiar. It's something that you've already known, but you just need to get to that point. And I almost feel like some of you are afraid to. You feel like, well, I don't know what's going to happen if it goes wrong, so I'm afraid to try. But some of you need to try whatever it is that you're afraid to. So let's see. What is the High Priestess telling us that we need to see? Okay. So you need help. And I don't want to say it like that, but you were or are in need of some type of financial assistance, or even a spiritual assistance. And this card, what I love about it, it says, yes, you need help. Yes, you may feel vulnerable. But the thing is, the fact that you know this means that you're blocking your blessing, because all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is reach out. All you have to do is look around. It just depends on what situation is your situation. But the fact that the High Priestess shows up for the Five of Pentacles shows me that you, as a Capricorn, need to know that neediness, that desire, that wanting, or whatever it is that you feel like you need and don't have, it's within you, but it's also a part of everything around you. So you need to reach out. You need to speak up. Maybe you need to tell your friend you're having issues with, or maybe you need to start saving, or start expressing to people that you can't keep helping them out financially, whatever it is. Or maybe you're living out of your means. You need to ask for help, spiritually, financially, whatever way it is. Just really look at yourself and be like, what do I need to look out for myself? What do I need to change for myself? What is it that I know I need, but I'm too afraid to ask? What is it that I'm too afraid to go back to, too afraid to look at again? It could be painful memories for some of you. It all depends on your situation. But I think once you finally look at it, you'll really be able to thrive as an earth sign, and I think you'll finally be able to feel independent, but not alone. If that makes any sense. Not feel like you can't trust anybody, because you do have people around you who do love you. You just have to figure out who to share with, and who to be around, and who to share your energy with, your resources with. It's all up to the surroundings, okay? Because that's very telling of a Capricorn, who they have around them. It tells how they are feeling, or how they're doing in their life, who they have around them, I must say. I mean, for a lot of signs, but I will say with a lot of earth signs, it's a little bit easier to tell where that person is at in their mental state, or their life, with the people that hang out around them, because earth signs are really about the people around you. I mean, they're earth, so it's about people and other things. Okay, so let's go to the end of October. Okay, that's what I like to see. 1 second. Alrighty. So, we start off the energy of October, the end of October, is Six of Swords. So, transportation for some of you. So, literally, some of you may be getting a new car, or some new way of transportation. Or maybe you start to figure out that there's a person in your life who can help you get to plan A step A, or whatever step you want to call it, to the next step. This could also be someone that comes in that really helps you, just lets you lean on them for a second, maybe helps you out. Like I said, remember with the Five of Pentacles, once you ask, you shall receive. So this is someone coming to help you literally right after you ask. So if you ask, you shall receive whatever you ask for. So be very careful what you ask for, okay, Capricorn? Be very careful. So the first card we have here, the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be you. There's the horns here, if you can see them. So this is you, male or female. And what this depicts is basically you as a Capricorn or an earth sign, just full of your abundance and full of knowing that all of the stuff that is around you, you've worked hard for, you've earned it in some type of way or capacity. And it's your time to really feel dominant and strong with the things that you've obtained. And with all of those the things you obtain, you also obtain knowledge, not just the material wealth, but you get some type of knowledge. It's common sense most of the time, but common sense is not, so common. And I think earth signs can understand that the most out of all of the signs. So let's see. Then we go into the Ace of Pentacles. So a lot of you may get to a point where you have a blessing that seems to fall into your lap. And it's probably going to deal with finances and money and career, which is basically what this whole month is about, which I love to see for Capricorn, because we've been dealing with a lot of feelings from you guys lately and a lot of emotional things that I know you guys are so tired of dealing with. And it looks like money is on the way, or at least a blessing financially is on the way, help or maybe even advice on how to obtain more money. Nonetheless, though, we have here the Ace of Pentacles, which literally means you're on the right path to getting what you want when it comes to abundance and the fruits of your labor. So in all aspects of your life, but let's get a little bit more specific. So what blessing are we receiving in finances for Capricorn? What are we receiving? What blessing are we receiving? Okay. So you may be receiving the feeling or maybe literally the piece of advice to go, to attack. It's time for you. You might start to feel this burning, again, with all this fire energy, you may start to feel like an Aries type of energy, or maybe an Aries comes around you, or Leo or Sagittarius. Or me, I could be that Leo that really gets you motivated to be like, why am I not doing what I know I can do? Why am I not realizing that I really am doing really, really well? Why am I not being grateful for all that I have? And maybe something that I say or something that a fire sign around you says gets you to understand, okay, that's the aha moment that I needed. What other blessings for other Capricorns dealing with finances will they receive in the end of October? Anything else? Justice. Okay, so being that we're transitioning out of Libra season, this will be a good time for you to kind of understand justice and karma and being fair. So maybe you understand that it's time for you to stop denying yourself of resources and goods, or maybe you start to share with certain people that you didn't think were worthy. And so I feel like there's going to be this sense of balance that comes into it just happens at the end of October, and it really gives you a piece of serenity and maybe a time to really just relax for good, right? And then we end things off with the Six of Wands in reverse, okay? So some of you may feel as though your actions were out of character, or you could be around a fire sign that you feel like, or they felt like did not get the justice that they deserved. So then that could lead us into November and maybe seeing how that unfolds, right? Kind of a cliffhanger. And it does have, we do have the Three of Cups here, so this is definitely including friends and emotions. So stay tuned for that. I already know, like, I've never had the tarot tell me what's gonna happen the next month, but definitely we're gonna have some situations with this. But this is ending off your month, but everything before that is all about you. And I think you're really creating, Scorpio is about creating your own reality, right? Out of the things that you see and you claim is true. And so I think you really figure out what being you as a Capricorn is. And I think you really start to figure out how to make your money and not care what other people say, and really tap into that it's about me right now. Which is beautiful, but being that we end off on these terms, we're going to have to see what that's all about. Be sure to catch that in the November tarot reading. This is a really nice reading. This is all about money, and it looks like you're going to be making quite a bit, so I'm actually really, really happy for you guys. I hope that this cleared up any confusion. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, leave them down below. And while you're at it, you can leave a like and you can subscribe, so maybe you can cross-watch if you're into that, or you can just be notified whenever I post for your sign for each month and other spiritual videos that I have coming up and lifestyle videos coming up. Anything else that I need to say? Oh yes, if you would like a reading, a personal reading of any type of, I'll send you what you need to know or which type of readings that I do offer so that you can make your choice. Yeah, just email me or just contact me and message me, and then we can get all of that taken care of. Don't be afraid. Just shoot out a message saying, or in the subject, put reading or something so I know what you're looking for if you just don't know what to type. And just let me know what you're looking for. Yeah, leave a like, a comment, or you could subscribe or do all three. Yeah, I'm Love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, then one day I will be. Until next time, Capricorn, I will see you very, very soon. Bye.